and Connor would walk into my room and be like, "Mommy, who's your friend?" And I just thought he was crazy and just kept like putting it off until finally like I started feeling things.
So you had an experience with a spirit.
Yes.
Tell me from the beginning, how did this happen?
So in my early 20s, I'd bought a house over here in Amarillo on Rutgers Street, and everything was fine the first couple of nights. I was alone, and then my son came back to my house from his dad's house, and he woke up screaming bloody murder like in the middle of the night, and he was just saying weird things like "man in the corner, man in the corner." And I thought he was hallucinating because he ended up having strep throat. So we ended up getting his tonsils out. So I just thought maybe he was running a high fever and being crazy that night. But it just kept happening and happening. For over the course of 2 months, things just got crazier and crazier. Like we'd hear clicks and the fan would start turning. We'd hear the click because it was all like remote control. But clicks and then the lights would turn off. Like I would feel pressure on my face at night, and I would like get ready to open my eyes and think I'm gonna see something because I could feel it, and I'd open my eyes and I never could see anything. So I started going to work and I'd tell my coworkers, I think I'm losing my mind or my house is haunted. And it just kept getting worse and worse over the course of 2 months, to where one day we were taking a nap. Connor was 3 at the time. So we were taking a nap on the couch and he was in my arms. I felt the pressure on my face like really hard, harder than I've ever felt. And I was trying to scream in what I thought was my dream, and nothing would come out. And then in my dream, I went to the garage and opened up the garage door, and then all the screaming came out. And then I woke up from my nap, but I was on the other side of the couch, like it had actually happened. So he was still on that side of the couch and I was on the other side. And then didn't sleep at all that night. Crazy things just kept, all the flickering and everything kept happening. So the next day I saw my neighbor outside and I went and asked her, I said, "This is gonna sound crazy, but has anyone ever died in my house?" And she just started nodding her head and she was like, "Yes, a kid hung himself in the garage back in 2000. And so, which was weird because the night before I had my dream where all the screaming came out in the garage. And then the next day I found out that the kid had hung himself in the garage. So I had to put it for sale and lose a lot of money. While I listed it, while it was for sale, one day we were in the office and Connor was playing by me. In that house, he would never leave my side. He was always right by me and he never slept in his own room in that house. But he was looking down the hallway into his room and he looked at me and he's like, "Mommy, I'm scared, I see somebody." And so I look, and now I know that the kid died there. But so I look down the hall and I don't see anything, and I'm like, "No, Connor, there's nothing there." And he just starts bawling and he's like, "Yes, I do, I see somebody." So he could see this spirit or whatever all the time. I never did. So a few months later, whenever I was in my new house, I was showing pictures to a friend of my old house that I had never looked closely at. They were looking at it and they're like, "What is that in the corner?" And so I looked and it was like a perfect silhouette of a person by the Christmas tree. I was just taking a picture of the Christmas tree at the time, and I need to find that picture. But yeah, then we sold it and moved out. And then everything went back to normal. He's never said, from that point on in our new house, he never saw anything, said anything. He didn't remember it, so.
Do you think Connor is a medium?
No, I just think little kids are like innocent, and I think they can see those things more than adults can.